Impact segment tonight, this Obama deal is now expanding. Reporter Mike Flannery, who works for the CBS station in Chicago, has been looking at Reverend James Weaks, apparently an Obama delegate at one time, who seems to be a brimstone guy.
We don't have slave masters, we got mayors, but they still the same white people who are presiding over systems where black people are not able or to be educated.
That was only one part of the tough talk State Senator James Weaks delivered earlier this month in a Sunday sermon at the Southside Church where he is pastor. It was broadcast twice on WJYS Channel 62. Today, he stood by every word of it.
Is it fair to refer to Mayor Daley, compare him and the governor to slave masters?
They do the same thing. They preside over systems where they have the control of the lives of African American and Hispanic people.
Now, we don't know the relationship between Reverend Weaks and Barack Obama. We are working on that story, and a number of other people are as well. But the question tonight is, how will the Clinton and McCain campaigns handle all of this? It's a growing story. Joining us from Philadelphia, Fox News analyst Rick Santorum, and from Washington, Maria Cardona, senior communications strategist for the Clinton campaign. All right, Maria, we'll begin with you. I think Hillary Clinton and both John McCain and Hillary Clinton have been smart to stay out of it. But sooner or later, they'll either have to mention it or just leave it by the roadside. What do you think will happen?
Well, actually, Senator Clinton was asked about the speech yesterday, and she said that she was glad that Senator Obama was addressing it. It was clearly a very complicated issue, but she left it at that, as she should have. I think that this is a question about Senator Obama and what he feels he needs to address to the American people on this issue. It's completely between him and the American people, and his campaign made a decision that he needed to make.
Well, I would ask you, if I ever get the chance to interview Hillary Clinton, and I hope you encourage that, I would say, would you stay in a church with the rhetoric that the right put out there? Yes or no, Senator Clinton? That's a legitimate question that I think she's going to have to answer down the road.
Well, let's wait and see when she answers it, and if she answers it. I think for now, she's going to keep her focus on continuing to deliver the message of why she thinks she will be the best candidate.
It's probably smart not to get involved. Now, with John McCain, what would you, Senator, advise him to do as far as this is concerned?
Well, I think certainly right now it's an issue that he needs to stay away from, and there's no point in him getting involved in the fray. The fact of the matter is this is hurting Barack Obama's candidacy. This has been a candidacy of all sugar and sweetness and love, and the mainstream media is just fawned over this man, and now we're starting to see a little bit more of the other side of Barack Obama. And if John McCain were to highlight this at all, I think he could just make the point that this is a very inexperienced candidate, and Barack Obama is very thin on a resume. And number two, we don't know a lot about him. We don't know a lot about his policies simply because during the campaign, since Hillary and Barack basically agree on everything, they haven't highlighted policy differences. And thirdly, we really don't know much about this man's background other than the fact that the wonderful things the media said. So this unknown candidate, I think, is a good thing.
If Barack Obama does get the nomination and he squares off against Senator McCain, does McCain make an issue out of right?
I think he has to make an issue out of judgment. I mean, this is really a question. You asked the question, would Hillary Clinton have stayed in a church? I mean, the line in this speech that just rang hollow to me is, well, our pastors always say things at church that we don't agree with. No. If I don't agree with my pastor, I go to another church. I mean, I don't know.
It depends on the disagreement, Senator.
Well,
I mean, we can have minor disagreements.
This is not a minor disagreement. No. I mean, it was the kind of things that this man was saying, and the theology he subscribed to, is his black liberation theology, is not a minor thing. It's a major thing.
And then that's what certainly has people upset. Now, Ms. Cardona, you have, and coming up behind you, we have pollsters, but the new Gallup tracking poll shows a big rise for Senator Clinton and a big decline for Senator Obama. Is that, in your opinion, because of all this?
Well, I think ultimately that's going to be for the American voters to decide. We believe it's been because Senator Clinton has actually resonated with her message.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You don't believe that any of the bad publicity associated with Barack Obama has led to any of the polls? Maria, you're going to sit there and this is me now.
No.
You're going to sit there and tell me you don't believe that any of the Obama controversy has driven his poll numbers down and Hillary's up. Are you really going to sit here and say that?
Bill, I think the fact of the matter is that any time any candidate gets knocked off message, it hurts them. And this clearly has been an issue for the Obama campaign because they're talking about something that they would rather not talk about. I think they'd rather talk about the issues that are dealing with the American people. So, yeah, I do think that anytime they get knocked off message, it hurts them.
All right. Now, Senator, last question for you. Can Barack Obama come back from this?
I think he's going to have a very difficult time. I mean, this is I just keep coming back to the 20 years. This is 20 years sitting in a church, knowing full well what this man believes and who he cites, and to sit there 20 years, and you know, there's been a lot of articles written. This is a very powerful church. This is a man who was going into Chicago, who needed a place that had some political power behind him. He joined the church for political advantage, and now he's going to have to suffer the consequences of being stuck with it.
And your state, Pennsylvania, I don't think Barack Obama.
He has no chance here. I mean, Hillary Clinton will win and win by double digits here.
All right, Ms. Cardona, Senator, thanks very much. Directly ahead. What do the poll numbers say? We will